Lymphedema refers to swelling that generally occurs in the arms or legs caused by a blockage in the lymphatic system. Despite recent medical advancements that addresses lymphedema, knowledge about this condition is still lacking among the general population. World Lymphedema Day is a patient driven initiative to make the cure for lymphedema and lymph related illnesses a global health priority. At Medicircle, we present to you Lymphedema Awareness Series, where we are featuring eminent vascular surgeons, physiotherapists, and plastic surgeons treating lymphedema to help raise awareness for all of the people to help them find knowledge and innovations that support them to be able to live their best lives with lymphedema. I am Smita Kumar, and today our guest for the talk is Dr. Raja Tiwari. Dr. Raja is a consultant plastic surgeon at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIMS. He is an experienced plastic surgeon and has been associated with eminent organizations like Artemis Hospitals, Gurgaon, Yamaguchi Hospitals, University, Japan, and the Royal Melbourne Hospital, Australia, etc. He is the first Indian to be awarded the prestigious International Aesthetic Surgery Fellowship by the American Society of Aesthetic Plastic Surgery, USA. Hello, Dr. Raja. Welcome to Medicircle on the World Lymphedema series.
Thank you, Smitaji, for this warm welcome. And I'm honored to be on this platform and to raise the awareness about lymphedema in our country.
Okay.
So,
sure. So most welcome, Doctor, on our channel where we are trying to make people aware and educate about difficult and different medical conditions in which lymphedema is one. So my first question is that is lymphedema hereditary or is it caused by hereditary? And if like my parents or grandparents of the patients are having lymphedema, are there chances of the person higher than others?
lymphedema is a collective term. So it applies to a lot of conditions. And the primary cause of lymphedema developing in a person is some kind of blockage in the lymphatic channels. So lymphatic channels, you can assume they are very thin walled veins. So like you have veins which push blood, there are lymphatic channels which push the lymphatic fluid out of the body, right? So these are small channels, very fine. Now, there can be so many causes which can cause lymphedema. So it can be primary or it can be secondary. So all the primary cases of lymphedema are hereditary in nature. So they are transmitted through genes from your parents or grandparents, and the child can similarly be affected. So in these type of cases, usually the lymphatic channels have a developmental problem. So either they are not developed or they have developed poorly. And in these cases, the child will eventually develop some kind of lymphedema, either during birth, after birth, even when he is or she is achieving puberty, or even later on in life. The second type of lymphedema is called a secondary lymphedema, and it develops mostly due to filaria in our country, and it can also develop because of cancer treatment, radiation, surgery, or any kind of accidents. So in all these conditions, the lymphatic channels are secondarily affected. So they are damaged. Now, to answer your question, whether they can be treated or not, I will come to that later when we are discussing the other aspects of management. But primarily, it can be hereditary transmitted if it is a primary lymphedema. If it is a secondary type of lymphedema, then it is not usually hereditarily transmitted.
So generally, how many cases do you feel? I mean, whenever you're practicing in your experience, how many cases are mostly hereditary cases?
In our country, it is not the majority. So in our country, the most common type of cases are post-filarial lymphedema cases. And the second number are the post-cancer treatment cases, which develop lymphedema. Now, primary lymphedema cases in our country per se, I think they will be less than 10 to 15% of the total amount of cases that we receive in our practice.
Okay. Right. So can lymphedema get completely cured? Like a person, if having lymphedema, can be completely cured and get rid of this disease?
So it again depends what type of lymphedema you are having. Suppose you don't have any lymphatic channels, right? So there are microsurgeries available now where we transfer lymph nodes from other healthy parts of the body to the part which is affected. Now, if we are transferring some lymph nodes from other part to the affected part, you can assume that there would be substantial improvement in the condition of that limb. Now, there can be conditions such as filaria, in which not only the lymph channels, but also the subcutaneous tissue, where there was excess of lymphatic fluid, it also undergoes fibrosis. And the entire part becomes filled with fibrotic tissue. So these conditions cannot be treated by transferring any lymph nodes or any lymphatic vasculature or even bypassing the lymphatic channels. So the first subset, which is primarily primary lymphedema, or the post-cancer cases, which are good candidates for surgery and can be cured by doing operations on them. The second type, which is the post-filarial lymphedema, these are, cannot be cured. We can only reduce the amount of tissue which has increased over a period of time.
Okay. One important question here, Dr. Tiwari, that can physiotherapy help in relief to people suffering from this disease? Because as we are, I mean, interviewing a lot of physiotherapists along also for this one lymphedema series. So, how effective is physiotherapy in the relief to this kind of problems?
So see, when lymphedema occurs, because of the increased size and weight of the limb, the person has a tendency to move the limb less and less. So
Okay.
over a period of time, even the joints will become stiff, and which will further deteriorate the functionality of the limb. So in these cases, physiotherapy has an important role, not only to maintain the normal functionality of the limb which is affected, but also in general to improve the circulation of the body. And by following a graduated physiotherapy protocol, there can be benefit in terms of drainage of the lymphatic vessels. Also, there is a special kind of physiotherapy which is called manual lymphatic drainage. So there are specialists which do this manual lymphatic drainage. So they will do a light massage. So it is different from the regular massage that you do for the muscles. It is a very light massage, and it is called a manual lymphatic drainage. So with this therapy, you can actually move the lymph from the skin to the more proximal part of the body towards the heart, where it enters into the main bloodstream. And with this therapy, again, the size of the lymphadematous limb can be reduced. So followed over a period of time, both these things can help. Also, one more important thing is the compression therapy. So you might have heard about compression stockings and compression bandaging. So once we are doing physiotherapy and following this manual lymphatic drainage, so following this, we have to use the compression stockings to keep the lymphedema in check, to control it, rather than allowing it to enormously increase the size of the limb.
So in these cases, the patients who are having this lymphedema, how much weight loss like can be helpful? Can we improve the condition of these patients?
Yeah. So weight loss, see, when we are targeting weight loss, we are basically employing two things. One is exercise and the second is diet. And both these things are helpful to reduce lymphedema. So when you're doing regular exercise, you are burning calories. And a large part of the lymphadematous tissue is also fatty tissue. Right. So when you are burning calories, all that fat is also reduced, like in any other place in the body. And that ultimately reduces the size of the lymphadematous limb. Also, when you're moving the muscles, so muscles act as a pump for the lymphatic movement. So when the muscles are activated, they act as a lymphatic pump, and all that lymphatic tissue will therefore reduce in size. And the third is all again the general improvement in the toxin level of the body. All that is reduced. The circulation is better, and therefore the lymphadematous tissue is reduced with exercise. So although it does not have a direct relationship with the lymphedema, but indirectly it contributes to a lot of things which can ultimately reduce the lymphedema. And similarly, diet also helps. So if you are taking a high fat diet, so all that fat will be converted into chyle and ultimately lymphatic fluid, which will ultimately collect in the edematous limb. So if you reduce the amount of fat within the body, ultimately the size of the limb will reduce. Similarly, it stands for sugar. So if you're taking a high sugar diet, it will be converted into fat, which will again increase the size of the limb. So by keeping the fat and the sugars in control, you can indirectly help in reducing the size of the limb. Another very important thing is salt intake. So salt, if you're consuming a high salt diet, all that salt will be deposited in the tissues, and salt in itself accumulates water. So whenever you're taking a high salt diet, it accumulates more water, and all that water will ultimately lead to more lymphedema. So again, by limiting the amount of salt consumption in your diet, you can indirectly improve the symptoms of lymphadematous tissue.
Sure. Dr. Tiwari, I would like to ask one very basic and simple questions about lymphedema. Like, what are the symptoms, and in such symptoms, if the patient sees such symptoms, what kind of doctor, whom to approach, especially for lymphedema treatment?
Yeah. So, see, first is if it is a hereditary lymphedema, then obviously the parents will notice. So gradually there would be an increase in the size of the extremity if you compare it to the opposite side, right? Presently, if it is a congenital lymphedema, I think plastic surgeons are the one to be approached at first, because uh, they supervise all the other managements or all the accessory therapies that you would like to partake in your later stages of management.
Sure.
So always consult the plastic surgeons first. He will decide whether what is the type of lymphedema. So he can conduct certain examination. He will get a PET scan done. He will check the movements of lymph. There are certain examinations which can tell you what is the etiology, whether the lymphatic channels have developed completely or not, or because whatever is the reason. So he'll diagnose the condition. Once the condition has been diagnosed fully, then if it requires only a medical treatment in terms of manual lymphatic drainage or compression garments, then you can very well visit any lymphedema center which offers such services on a weekly basis, and then perform the same exercises too. But if it requires any kind of surgery, especially a lymphatic surgery, then the plastic surgeon or specifically a microsurgeon is the one to be approached for. Now, sometimes this lymphedema can be confused with a vascular edema. So if your veins are also incompetent, then the lower extremity especially can have a lot of edema. And in such cases, I think it would be better to consult a vascular surgeon for a varicose vein therapy.
So thank you so much, Dr. Raja, for sharing this significant information about lymphedema with our viewers today. As a dedicated healthcare media platform, through these initiatives, we definitely hope that we are able to educate and aware more and more people about lymphedema and its treatments. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.